Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Age of Wonders 4 Thrones of Blood. Now, where we left off in the last episode, we had done this auto-resolve, and I didn't want to just accept this outcome. So I'm going to jump in and fight it manually. Now, we need to consider the fact that many of our units are actually gravely wounded, so we might not necessarily want to send them out into the front line. And we'll want to group up the wounded people to be able to get some healing from one of my heroes. I can't remember which hero it is. It is Usifgrin the Mender, who has this rejuvenate ability. Well, to start with, what I'll probably do is send my dragon over here to take out this ballista tower. I'll send my ruler over here to take out this ballista tower. I should have a bunch of expendable units again that I can kind of just charge forward with, which I'm absolutely going to be doing. Let's move this immortal over and let's group. Can we get a nice grouping here before we run over with our revitalize, getting a big AoE heal? Perfect. We're probably not going to just run down mid and attack, but instead make sure we clear up the flanks before we collapse on mid. So let's get nice and close to this and start doing damage. Okay, perfect. You defend yourself. Let's get you over here and do a fire evocation. Do a little healing. Fortify. Fortify. Fortify with these guys. Looking good. Fortify with you. Let's have you back up the spider. I'll use the spider to spawn a unit next turn. And then we'll kind of just position ourselves into a good attack formation so we don't take much damage or anything. Now, I think they purged off our regeneration on some of these units, but that's fine. Ooh. Now, that was the hero that was able to raise dead, so I might have to use necromancy to bring her back. So let's raise the undead on the hero. So the hero is back. Perfect. It was actually a different hero that can do raise undead. It's you. If you take this shot. Come on now. 1, 2, 3. You are flying, but you would take a lot of damage over time if you rushed forward there. Okay, let's get the dragon up. You should be able to get this kill. I'm going to do a Sundering Curse here to weaken this alongside a Scarlet Plague. And I will rush my hero over here to begin blasting this. Let's drop a summon, because of course that's what we do. Now, you have a Sundering Curse opportunity here, which is great. Sundering Curse is a fantastic ability because it lowers enemy resistance to damage. I'm going to rush forward with Tyrannica the Beacon so she can make a unit next turn. Why don't you just chill right there? These guys are a little bit too hurt to rush forward. This Immortal is fine to do so, however. I'm going to push forward gently. I do have my catapults. So I think I'll catapult shot right there. I don't think you can reach that, but that's fine because you should be able to catapult shot right here, doing a nice AoE. Let's rush forward with the Vampire Spider Hatchling. Let's get the Scarlet Plague on you. I'm also going to drop a Baleful Curse here to soften these guys up. I'm not going to rush forward with my Tyrant Guards just yet. I don't think it's time to do so. Yeah, look at that big damage on me. But that's what this guy's for. He's just to distract the enemy, really. My ruler is in danger, but that's fine. Let's take out this ballista tower. I'm going to cut down enemy power on the field. Take out this ballista tower as well. We got a blood parasite on the flank. Perfect. If we step forward twice, where's our best spot? I think we'll go forward twice here. Got hemorrhaging bolts on this guy. Boom. Perfect. He's decaying. Come forward again with you. Hopefully weakening him so he's weaker. He did resist the weakening. That's fine, though. I don't want to run through the fire if I can avoid it, but we'll rush forward and go into defense mode with you. You've already dropped your unit, so summon a big old spider. Let's see if we can't get this kill. Now, I'm wondering if I rush forward with you and get a polymorph off, then a 3-attack spider should be able to get this kill. Then I can use you to finish this. Not quite. Maybe the zombie can finish it? Nope. Maybe the fire invocation from Vlad the Wolf can finish it. Perfect. Okay. Done it. So that's 2 of those towers dealt with. I have zombies who can run up into melee again. I've got some immortals who can sprint forward. Get him a little bit closer. Let's get you into 25% chance to hit range. Lovely. That was huge. Very low chance that would succeed, but I'm very glad that it did. All right, we've got a 50-50 shot at killing this guy. Boom. Perfect. We've already managed to severely reduce the amount of power enemy has on the field, killing 2 of their units and 3 of their summons. Let's step here and bolt. Immortals can be used. They are expendable. Let's weaken these 2 units because they're the scariest units on the enemy team. So lowering their chances of doing damage to us is going to be useful. I don't think we really have units that we can make a difference with. I don't want my spider to get sklomped. So I might just play defense on the spider to give it a better chance of surviving. All right, so what's coming along? Looks like this guy healed and buffed. It is a scald. He missed his attacks. The fumble chance coming in clutch. He killed a zombie, so doesn't matter. He exploded. Big hit on that hero. My ruler took big damage, but that's okay. He did survive. Let's do blood empowerment on him. And go for the draining bite. Big heal. Beautiful. We also got a blood maggot. Let's get this blood maggot up behind you to put you into zone of control. Units in zone of control have certain difficulties. Ooh, I didn't mean to move you forward like that. I meant to move you forward like this. I could move you forward one more to get a 90% chance to hit. Rush forward with the dragon. Defense mode. Let's get our tyrant guard on the flank, poking him in the back. Okay, we can get a zombie to there. Let's get a charge strike on this. Definitely want to kill that before it can do more harm. Let's do a sundering curse to lower their defenses. And then a 45% chance death blast. Didn't quite finish the enemy. Let's transfer life for you. It's a free action. Bring our ice spider forward and fire the net. Boom. Perfect. He's frozen. You still do have raise undead. So I'm going to move you forward 2 tiles. This is a 2-turn cooldown. We'll raise undead here. We get a zombie back. Bam. Couldn't catch up behind this guy. Give him the little blaps. 20% chance to hit isn't great, but should take it when you can. 70% chance. Now I feel safe to rush forward. Our catapults are ready to shoot. Break the walls and stuff with our attacks. Attack right there. Boom. Beautiful. And then let's hit this guy with a necrotize so we can remove his regeneration. And he's infected now as well. Looking good. I doubt they will get a meaningful kill. It's just the best way for us to kill this scald. I can get the blood maggot up. I think a charge strike would be nice. Plus a poke. Plus a poke. Plus a poke. Perfect. We do need to kill this guy. Let's move you up here and we'll throw a rejuve. Remove all these negative debuffs. Can't quite get any damage. So I think we'll just chill. Not much we can do against the scald, but next turn we should be able to poke him to death. Perfect. So quick and easy battle. Instead of taking 4 unit deaths, we take no losses. Much better outcome. We collect a bunch of experience from our ruler, and we've now captured the city. I'm going to dismiss this because we don't have the mana upkeep to maintain an undead army, so we will dismiss them. Bondfire has been conquered. Now, we do have some benefits for vassalizing cities, but we do have the option of expanding our governance pretty cheaply here, and it would be nice to have a 4th city. In particular, this city is actually relatively close to the rest of our power base, and it actually has 2 magic materials, a Astral Dew and a Blood Glass, as well as a Reaper's Hollow that we could clear out, which would give us mana, knowledge, and soul. So this would really help us out. So I'm tempted to migrate this to the Grim Wolves. Let me check. Is there any... No, there's nothing really up here that would matter if I were to take that. So I'm going to migrate this to the Grim Wolves. I would call that an extremely successful kill, considering we managed to actually wipe out an enemy player and get a city out of it, while costing ourselves very little. We are, unfortunately, under attack from some free cities. I'm going to drop a stack of immortals on Bondfire to keep it safe, and then we'll look into moving east when we're ready to deal with these free cities. We need to deal with Nemesgrad and Citadel. Citadel is up here to the northeast. It's our current most real threat, although we do have this stuff up here to deal with too. Yeah, my current plan is to recruit a whole bunch of immortals to help us just have a bigger army out on the battlefield. So we finished skeletal reanimation, so we can now reanimate skeletons. Rotting Explosion, Revels of Blood, Tyrannical Exploitation. I do like Tyrannical Exploitation, so I think I'm going to grab that. That'll allow me to get a lot more value out of my vassals. Somebody has leveled up. Vlad the Wolf, who is a Spellblade, has leveled up. Now, he's very much so a deal fire damage kind of guy. I could make him a melee mage. He only has fire evocation. He could get Arcfire Burst, which is all enemies within 2 hex of you taking damage. It could be good for us to go for Arcane Skirmisher here, right? Like he's got some big damage against non-flanking attacks. He's got health bonus, resistance, some defense, all that sort of stuff. I think it would be good if he got a Draining Bite, maybe. Can now use magic and support abilities while engaged in melee. Arcfire Burst, Weaver, melee and magic attacks, 10% damage. Never the tune of non-physical damage, boosted resistance. Okay, this would help with his survivability. And I think that's like the big thing that Vlad the Wolf needs right now is survivability. And I think another way for him to get survivability would be to pick up Draining Bite, as it would give him a self-heal. It's on a cooldown, but that's fine. My ruler has also leveled up, and our focus was on going down melee damage here. Unholy Leader would be great for us to pick up. We can pick up another signature skill. So we've got Blood Communion. Target friendly unit and the caster heals 20 hit points and removes 2 negative status effects. It's a range 4 free action that does increase the upkeep. It would also give us access to Warding Aura, which would give adjacent friendly units extra resistance. Pretty good. It's a nice heal. Exsanguinate is a long range damage ability. 6 range, cooldown 2, that has 30% accuracy. I think that's a 30% accuracy buff, maybe? No, that's its crit chance, sorry. It has a 30% crit chance. It deals 32 damage, so you can't move before using this. It ignores all, like 50% of their defense and resistance. It deals bleeding damage, and then it has all of their other effects added. Adaptive Vigor once per turn. This unit gains regeneration when hit by an attack. Blood Blight would give us access to Blood Blight. Target enemy unit and 2 others within 2 hexes sustain damage and gain 3 blood parasites. I do like this ability. Plus, it's a 1 action that leaves you with an action, which is quite powerful because you could run forward, Blood Blight, and then Draining Bite. This would give Debilitating Aura, which would lower enemy status resistance. Blood Parasite really allows us to do the blood stuff. Tormenting Mist. Enemy units within a 2 hex radius will sustain damage, lose morale, gain 4 stacks of torment, which deals frost damage and takes away morale if they use an ability. Counters grace. Has all of the bonuses here. You'd also get Spirit Breaker Aura, which loses morale faster nearby. Festering Spine is a blight damage range 4 30% crit chance ability that deals damage and poisons and decays an enemy. Causes withering decay, so he could give decaying on his base attacks. Or we could go for Grave March, conjure 4 corpses of tier 1 Thorn Skeleton units in a 1 hex radius. For the next 4 turns, resurrect 1 random corpse in the battlefield under your control until the end of combat. You get immobilizing presence. At the start of the turn, adjacent enemies become slowed. If they were already slow, they become immobilized instead. That's insane. Grave March is crazy for summoning value, especially so it's on a 5-turn cool. Like, you could just use this to win battles. But I like the idea of Blood Blight the most because it allows me to create these blood parasites. It does have a long cooldown, but I feel like it has synergy with the Draining Bite ability, so I'm going to go with Blood Blight here. I don't know if we care about Debilitating Aura because status resistance is like, who cares, honestly? Now, Blood Blight is a magic debuff. I think it would be a good idea for us to focus on picking up killing momentum mainly, so that he gets an action point when he kills a unit. So I'm going to go for Unyielding into Warseeker. Warseeker gives 10% damage and 10 maximum hit points, which I really like. When he gets kills, we've captured a whole bunch of heroes in our prison. Stybor Erebus has completed a major ambition. So now he has access to Siege Master, so he will siege faster. He'll get +5 siege speed. He's maxed out his ability, so units are cheaper to recruit. Perfect. Beautiful. Other rulers declared a war. Good to know. Blah, blah, blah. We do have to worry about this toll of bullcrap. I'm going to hurry that tavern out. We'll have a couple of turns to get back over here across this mountain range and stuff. Okay, my blood altar has been ruined, and the independents are moving. There's 12 mist-walking invaders attacking Blade Hollow, and they're pretty scary. Yeah, it's 2,000 combat power worth of units with a lot of high tiers. We've got 2 turns to get down there to make a difference. Thankfully, some of my guys have Mountain Walk, so we can cross the mountain with ease. Let's keep recruiting Immortals. I think they're going to be very useful in holding off the enemy here. City overview, recruit an Immortal. Tyrannical Exploitation is finished. We're going to select new research. I feel like, what was the tome? The Tome of Torment here is very cool. We get the Basilica of Lamentation, which gives mana and knowledge and city stability. It also gives mana from farms, knowledge from foresters, and it is a conduit. It'll give us tormenting projectiles, which allows our physical ranged and magic attacks to inflict torment, which deals frost damage and morale damage. We get agonize, which is a AoE hex spell that does frost damage. You get painbound, which target race embraces pain, in which they're hit by attack, they gain morale and a random positive effect. And then the Painbringer, or the Lens of Anguish. Let's have a look at some of the other options we have available to us, because the Tome of Torment is a new one, so it could be a fun one to play around with. I do think the Tome of Fertility has some synergy with our build due to its food and draft per population, but it's very support-oriented, and we don't have a very support-oriented build, generally speaking. I do think Sundering Blades would be really good for us because it would inflict... I mean, the Tome of Rock and the Tome of Enchantment both do a lot of work for us because of Obsidian Weaponry and also Sundering enemy defense. The combination of these two things would just make it so that we do a lot more damage with our bleeding. The Tome of Evolution would be really nice for another reason too. Mostly to get Draconic Vitality for the extra hit points on our units, but it wouldn't really do much outside of that. So for that reason, I do think that the Tome of Torment is actually really good here because it is going to help us deal with our mana problem. Now remember, we are constantly working our way towards the Chaos Tome of the Crimson Rain, which has the Gift of the Old Blood major racial transformation where we become undead, life drinkers that inflict blood parasite. So I think just for the sake of trying out the new tome, we're going to go for the Tome of Torment. It's got some pretty cool stuff in here, like a buff for our ranged units. We've even got a damage debuff spell. We've got a minor racial transformation. We've got a city structure that buffs up our mana and casting points. We've got a unique unit. It's tier 4. We've also got a really nice structure. So let's go ahead and try out the Tome of Torment. So to start with, I'm probably going to pick up Painbound. I really need to increase my mana income. Like, it's a huge problem that we do not have enough mana to sustain all these great spells that we've picked up. So we could kill these guys here and prevent a pillage from going off. We do need to still make our way down here. Let me see, what is the range on their AoE again? So can I get my hero? I want to get my hero inside this territory to heal. I'm going to put him right there. And I'll use you to engage this fight. Let's move you 2 tiles to the right. Should be an okay auto-resolve. Hopefully not. Okay, no losses that I can see. We're going to dismiss these because we can't afford to maintain them. We got a nice item, but I'm not ready to deal with that item just yet. I would like to deal with this stack as well over here. I just don't have the unit health or power right now. I would love to get a Scald because they have the Heat of the Revel, which gives insanity. The Song of Carnage is nice for crit and damage, and the Song of Revelry is great for regen and even crit as well as morale. I wouldn't mind a Scald. I also wouldn't mind a Tyrant Knight. They cost 3 times as much gold as an Immortal, but the same amount of mana. They have that lovely charge strike. So let's grab a Tyrant. I can't really afford to do anything in these cities right now. I do want the Basilica of Lamentation, so I'm going to pop that right here. Let's recruit another Immortal. I got the Farmers Guild in my capital, so it's going to grow really fast, which is great. Because it means it's going to make a lot of thralls for me, because a certain percentage of the food gets turned into thralls, which is great. One of my heroes are leveled up, Isov Grin the Mender. Now, you were heavily focused on support abilities. I definitely want to get regenerating support here, because I want to do even more supporting. You're like one of my main healers. You're pretty much my only healer. I don't even know if I have actually stuff that I can give you. Well, I suppose Crown of Star Blades plus... Well, that's it, really. I don't have much in the way of equipment. I could definitely do with the forge, but when did I have the resources to build the forge is my question. Yeah, we need to get down here ready to join the battle in Blade Hollow. My ally has called me to war. I will get a major war buff here, so let's accept. I think that does count as a major war declaration, which was my goal. I need 3 of those to fulfill the Visions of Ruin. It is a little bit annoying that he's going to be at war with me now because I'm not quite ready for it. I am going to spend the Imperium on expanded governance because we're 1 turn away from annexing Bondfire. I hate this city that he placed here. Insaltur just like takes up space. Okay, another forester has been pillaged. I wasn't expecting this combat until next turn. Little bit unfortunate. Let's cast Blood Drinking Blades. We have a lot of mana right now so that we can maintain this. So Blood Drinking Blades, I forgot to actually show what it does. But basically, We researched this a long time ago. It's going to give all of our melee attacks +1 physical damage. I believe it will be +2 for any charge or shock attacks. And units that they hit that are bleeding will heal. So very useful. And it'll be doubled again for things. So that's going to increase the average power level of our army. I do need to hold on to some mana for the battles. The right play might be to zip north, although I need to recover the city. But yeah, Choke Point is great because it's giving us a lot of resources. I'm going to put an Arcane Governor in here so that we can get even more mana from it, because my goal is to use the city to generate a lot of mana. Probably would have been good to get a Scholarly Governor, but it's fine. Yeah, I think we just need to get our armies down south. Hopefully we can bait these guys into attacking us and we can recover the city. Choke Point's going to need a little bit of work. I think I'm way more interested in conduits here than I am with research posts. A single research post is good in order to get the higher tier research thingy. But yeah, generally speaking, I just need so much mana, bro. So I'm happy to shift this towards a more mana direction. I do want the palisade wall to be able to defend this city though, so it doesn't like instantly get sieged down. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, we're up against 1547 combat power and 638 combat power. We do have healed up strong stacks ready for the fight, which is nice. We are going to be up against Misty. They at least don't have their siege ability triggering. Let's see what the auto combat brings for us. So auto combat is actually a victory with no significant losses, with several units leveling up and a bunch of so this is a perfectly fine auto combat as far as I'm concerned. I know that fighting battles yourself is better. So we need to follow the Fae to Duatha through the Fae fissure. I'm tempted to create an ultra stack with all my heroes, my Bone Dragon, and maybe a Necromancer to go in here. Blade Hollow has been recaptured, so we can start putting the city back together. Let's build the Desecration Chambers in here just for the sake of it. And we'll start recruiting Immortals too, so that we can throw at the enemy. Now, my capital is ready to grow. I think we care a lot about farms because farm income is sick in this city. I am going to build myself a soul forge at long last. We can start forging items pretty late into the game to start this, but better now than never. Better Nate than lever. We have a stack guarding Choke Point, at least until it has walls up. I need to kill this guy for a quest too. Man, I'm stretched thin. But yeah, the Necromancer is great to bring because he has the raise undead ability, so he'll be able to raise pretty much all of these units from the dead. Tyrannica the Beacon has leveled up. We could grab Claim Soul, which when it kills a target, revives as a Whiteborn unit. Can only be used once per battle, but it is super powerful for a Warlock. New Empire development skill. City structures are cheaper. I'm going to hold on to my Imperium for now because there are some of these really nice late game ones that I'm going to want to grab. So if we enter, we can seal the fissure or attack. So on the other side of this, we're up against a Scourge of Autumn, a Horned God, a Stormbringer, Jesus, and a Berserker. Now we could alternatively, we could only bring 6 units, I believe. Let's wait 1 turn to get another turn of healing. Then I'm going to go in and give it my best shot because I think beating them will be worth it. Let's rebuild our ruined province improvements and let's see what we can do. Hopefully this guy comes to fight me. Looks like he's going for the city, which I don't necessarily care too much about. Okay, let's go in. Now an auto combat gives me what result? Honestly, not a terrible result, but I would like to try and get a better result myself. Losing that dragon will suck. So enemy units will have benefit of wind barrier, presence of gales. Now, what are these units capable of? So the Scourge of Autumn is a high damage melee attacker that inflicts electrified. It also has Phantom Grace, which deals damage in a line. No, Phantom Charge, sorry. And then Captive Glamour, target unit has a chance of being dominated. That's a bit of a problem. So they've got 2 of those guys dominating. Now the Horned God, I remember he spawns Flora and then does a wild eruption. The Stormbringers just do a lot of damage. I mean, there is a great opportunity here to get a fire evocation immediately at the start of this battle across everyone. Sure, maybe not the greatest thing, but you know what? I'm gonna take it because I can revive my heroes. All right, let's get these zombies up into the fray. Get you to here in transfer life to the dragon. I'll get my necromancer behind the dragon to buff the dragon. I'll get you up here. No, you're a little bit too far forward there. Here is fine. Let's see what they do. So there's a charge. There's a charge. AoE out. AoE out. That's okay. That's part of the game, baby. I need you to kill this vine. Can you spawn a spider that runs over here and drops a net on the enemy? You're stunned, you're stunned. You're not stunned, but you'll always come back after the battle. So let's do blood empowerment on you. Get right up in the face of the enemy. Do the blood blight. Perfect. And then can you do a big ol' heal chomp? Perfect. In terms of spells, the Rite of Bloodletting could be crazy good here. Doing lots of blood parasite. My dragon's in bad shape. I do like the idea of the rejuvenate. If I go here and I do a putrid breath, what am I hitting? What if we did it right here? That's better. So they're decaying now. I think that's all of our actions. So if the dragon dies, no big deal. We do have... honestly, at this point, if the dragon dies, he did his job. He helped me beat the toll of seasons. Same for the necromancer, honestly. Just want my heroes to live, you know? Horned God coming forward to reclaim. You're probably going to try and dominate or something. Yeah, you dominate the spider, but that's okay. Missed away. Love it. Shit, my hero died. Raise Vlad the Wolf from the dead. And then drain health with him. Polymorph this nerd. Resisted. Ooh, that's bad. And my ruler's dead, so I can't cast spells. I need this blood parasite really bad. My ruler didn't leave a corpse, which I'm going to be real is really annoying. Because I thought he would leave a corpse that I would be able to revive, but apparently not. Which makes me want to refight this battle. Because I wasn't expecting the ruler to not leave a corpse, but that's good to know. Is that a special effect of his skills? No, it doesn't say that. That's weird that he did leave a corpse. That was it, because I was expecting to be able to revive him, but that didn't work. Okay, we need these zombies to be the target of like early attacks, actually. I do think that this fire AoE was worth it, though. Ooh, I could blood blight my zombie. Nah. Summon the spider. Send it up because it's an expendable. Play it safe by not grouping up too much. Lovely. Waste your attacks on that. Lovely. Okay, that was a better first turn as far as I'm concerned. What we could do, I have an idea here, is if we group up for a short moment to drop the Rite of Life Leeching and the Rejuvenate on the important units. Make the dragon real strong. AoE defense. If I get my dragon to here. Do a putrid breath. Retaliation hurts. Let's get you up here in defense mode to get that guy into zone of control. No corpses to raise right now. And I could do a blood empowerment into second wind, into a blood blight, into a single attack, or we could chomp for health. I think we'll do the big chomp for health. Could chomp. Let's chomp for health. And then I think we'll throw an attack. It's unlikely to hit anything. Oh, we grazed. Lovely. I think that's a better opening. Yeah, that sucks. All this. But it's also not terrible either. Captive Glamour resisted. They went for the charge attack on the dragon. We can revive the dragon. That's always an option. We do have the Necromancer in range. We have a blood parasite on this unit. So if we got the kill, he would also regenerate from attacking. If we could get this kill, we would get the blood parasite, which is great. If he chomps on the corpse, he will get stronger too. I could Scarlet Plague this guy. He already has the blood parasite. Let me see what we can do. I could run you to here and hit all these vines with a web, getting them out of the way. We could polymorph you. Resisted. Fuck. You go distract that guy in defense mode. Buff up the dragon. Don't have any corpses to raise, so let's just shoot this guy. We could do a Rite of Bloodletting. I would hit these guys with some blood parasites. I need you to take this hit so my dragon doesn't take the hit. Boom. If I can get my ruler behind, we can get two big attacks off. It doesn't matter that he's being flanked, because he does have missed away. Can we fire evoke, or could you get this kill by running up? Get him. 1, 2. Okay, this went a lot better. Like a lot better. All right. Still have our Raise Undeads. Still have some of our expendables up. Big lightning attack. He's wasted an attack on an expendable. That's perfect. Attacking my hero. We've got pretty good superiority in this area. The domination going through on the blight boil thing is annoying. We do need this dragon to regenerate. I think if I get this kill, it'll cancel the domination and also spawn a blood parasite, which is huge. So now we have our parasites back. And I think this guy still... He no longer has a blood parasite on him. So, but I'm going to get the kill anyway. So I can blood parasite you. Now, what else do we need to do? We still have transfer life and raise the dead. Claim soul would be ideal on this guy if we could get it. Dragon in defense mode. Could run up here and raise the undead. Let's do it. Raise this guy as well. We've got a nice little zombie we can rush in with. Let's do a baleful strike to weaken them. And then start smashing them for damage. Perfect. You don't exactly have good attacks, but even if you don't hit, you might heal people. Nope, never mind. Yeah, range attack's not very good against this, but that's okay. I think we've managed to make a much better outcome this time. We used our abilities and positioning. Really, a lot of winning battles in Age of Wonders 4 isn't about using your abilities efficiently. It's about preventing your enemies from using their abilities efficiently. Like, that's something I truly believe. That, like, manipulating your opponent into inefficient corners is way more important than manipulating yourself into efficient corners. It's a very attritional kind of game. Right, this guy's fully surrounded. Nothing he can do. It's completely over for him. Oh, he had a nice little spell up his sleeve there. Did a little chunk of damage. But we are beating the Toll of Seasons. I don't know if I've ever done this before. It feels familiar, but not like... But I don't remember if I've actually done it. All right, nice. Right. Oh, we've got a bit of a problem with these viney boys. Come on now. Okay, I'm going to pull you out so you can step in. Come on. Yeah, 25 damage to the booty. Whew. Okay, so no losses on that battle. 2 hero levels up. 33 souls, 78 gold, 20 mana, 9 experience for our ruler. We defeated the Toll of Seasons. Dismiss. We can't afford those skeletons. Path to Duatha Aftermath. So we get 300 Imperium. We can take a relic. We would get the Wing of Luth. So we'd gain 15% mana per turn. We'd unlock the Autumn Storm Evocation, which is every 2 turns in combat, a random enemy is hit by the Fulmination spell, which deals lightning damage and inflicts electrified, and the Toll of Seasons would enter the next stage. I can break the relic to liberate the spell dwelling inside. Vlad the Wolf would be permanently transformed into a Scourge of Autumn. He would lose his hero status. We could disenchant the relic into Binding Essence. I like the idea of stealing their power. I also like the idea of disenchant. This is actually a really difficult decision. I mean, the Autumn Storm Edification. I mean, 15% extra mana is so good. We are just about to build our relic construction location. So getting a huge injection of fragments and essence right now would be amazing for us to power up our heroes. I think the problem with taking the relic is it means that this wouldn't end. So I'm going to take the Binding Essence so I can make use of my new forge. I think that's what I'm going to do. That was a big battle. Heroes are leveled up. Isuf Grin the Mender has leveled up, who is my sort of healer. I can take Death Ward, which will give us Heroic Stand. It's a free action ability, which is nice. We've got another level up. It looks like Vlad the Wolf has leveled up. We could take Melee Mage. I think we were more interested in Draining Bite. Draining Bite removes defense mode and retaliation attacks, and I like that, so I'm going to go for that. Being able to get rid of enemy defense modes is a good opening move. And then I believe also my ruler has leveled up. I'm going to grab Killing Momentum. Boom. So that was like a pretty big sequence of events that happened in this episode. Like, we had a big, massive battle up here in the northeast at Choke Point. We had a series of battles to protect our territory. In fact, we still have a battle ahead to take on this stack here. Let me just auto-combat this and hope we get a good result. Yeah, no deaths. That's perfect. 60 gold, 150 research, 20 mana. Beautiful. We're getting a little bit of momentum from actually getting into fights now, and we're getting equipment that we're going to be able to either burn down or upgrade our heroes with. Heroes are very, very important for your long-term military power. I think the biggest threat on the board for me, unfortunately, I keep getting pulled in different directions, but I think the biggest threat on the board for me right now is Aralazalier the Vainglorious. I am curious about what's through this. Because if I could get, like, there's Fireforge stone here, there's resources and pickups, I would love to send an army or two up here into the gloom to go take that on. I think there's marauders up here that we need to deal with. This is a lot going on. Now, Blade Hollow has leveled up and needs to expand. I'm going to go ahead and build a conduit here on the blood glass. And I am going to keep spamming out immortals, even though they're relatively expensive to maintain. The idea behind it is that if we have a whole bunch of units that are low tier that can't really die, I can have them be support stacks to important units. So I'm going to be starting to split up my army into a group of new stacks. And the basic plan is I'm going to take my ruler and use him as an adventurer. Now, he's currently using a tier 2 sword. I'm wondering if we could give him a better one. He would lose his shield, which does give him extra defense against non-flanking attacks. But if we had something like the Lightning Halberd or the Retaliating Flameheart with a big charge attack, that could be really powerful. I think I'm going to go for the charge attack, have him just rush in and try to get kills because that's what he's good at. These three heroes are going to be in command of like regular armies. I want to try to bring my strongest possible units with my main hero stack because he's only going to be supported by relatively weak stuff. So I think there was a Tyrant Knight over here that I'm going to bring to join him. So he's at 4 out of 6. Probably good to bring a Warlock to be able to soften up and kill particular enemies. So this is the stack we're going to go with. I could take a Blood Cultist instead of a Warlock. Maybe the Blood Cultist is better because it would allow us to spawn enemies. But basically the idea is this is the stack that we're going to take on Ancient Wonders with, like the Reaper's Hollow over here. And then these 3 hero stacks are going to be the ones that we actually use to fight our wars. Now the exact setups of these hero stacks isn't very important right now, just that we get them set up with units. And so, yeah, perfect. We've got 3 full stacks of units. They're not particularly strong units, but they are there. And then we've got a really strong hero stack that we're going to use to clear out things like the Reaper's Hollow over here. And I am going to continuously recruit more immortals with the purpose of supporting these armies. Choke Point has managed to finish building its building thingy. I definitely want to get some of my special province improvements, but I'm also going to build some defenses like Caltrop stashes and stuff like that. Tyrannica the Beacon has reached max renown level. So special province improvements are very important to build in her territory because they're going to benefit a lot more. Now she is in charge of Dusk Fort, so that's something I should definitely consider, is that these special province improvements are cheaper and more efficient in here. So I'll build a Basilica of Lamentation here with a Carnival of Flesh. I should probably build a tavern to help the city's stability, and the Mana Obelisk is about to finish. I'm going to be able to cast so many more spells now. It's going to be huge. It's going to make a big difference to us. Yeah, Choke Point is under threat. We do have a couple of turns to get over there to save it. So we now have access to the Soul Forge. Let's have a look at some of our items that we have in our arsenal, starting with primary weapons. Well, let's start with second. So we've no secondaries, we've no helmets. We've no head items. I think this helmet is worth disenchanting. Status resistance isn't a stat that I particularly value for heroes, so I'm happy to delete this too. No leg items, no ring items, mount items. I'm happy to disenchant the tier 1 mounts, but the chariot mount might be worth keeping. Miscellaneous, not much. So let's have a look at what we could craft here. Let's see who we're going to soup up first. I think that Vlad the Wolf very much so gets in the face of our enemies. He's a Spellblade. He does have Fire Evoker. What weapon is he using? So he's using a sword and a shield right now. I think we would like to get him a little bit more effective HP. So let's see if we can buff up Vlad the Wolf with a new helmet. I kind of wish there was like a vampire themed infusions. I wonder if I'll unlock those after. I'll go with the crown. So if I went with 1 defense and 1 resistance, this would be effectively 10% more effective HP, and there would be no time to craft. The +5 hit points could help a lot as well. This would make it tier 2. Okay, so that's a pretty good item for making my units a little bit stronger. What kind of trinkets could I make? Blood Sigil. Attack and debuff abilities ignore 1 status resistance per stack of bleeding on the target. I don't think I necessarily care too much about that. In terms of wands, let's see, Hindering Blizzard, Summon Rose Knight. Now that is exciting. This would be expensive. This summon lasts for 3 turns. It would give me access to a tier 4 summon who can raise thorned skeletons, has Blood Rose Drain, Charge Strike. It's an undead shock unit. I do like this idea. It's relatively expensive, but I think this is such a good ability that I think it's worth forging an item. Okay, Grimrise hasn't grown. It does need to produce new stuff. I would like to get the Abattoir, because that's going to give us extra knowledge. I might get the Deep Crypt first, because it's going to allow heroes in the crypt to be resurrected. It's also going to give us mana income, so I'm going to grab that first. Then I would like to get the Abattoir and the Castle Chambers. Also nice, thankfully, we can now recruit Shrieking Bats. I'm not sure what enabled this, but let's have a look here. So we've got the Doom Bat, which is a tier 1 fighter unit. It's heartless, low maintenance. It has lifesteal on it, which is very cool. It is already undead. Ooh, I like it. So the Doom Bat, I don't know what enabled to build this. Let me have a look at what unit buildings we built. Oh, it was the Soul Forge. I probably should have got this a long time ago, because they cost thralls to recruit, which is cool. The Vampire Spider Hatchling is really cheap too. I think this unit evolves. Yeah, it evolves into a Matriarch. Blood Drinking Blades, Blood Fury, low maintenance, Market Tyranny, Swift. And then we've got the Vampire Spider Matriarch, very strong. Honestly, a bunch of these Vampire Spider Matriarchs in my hero's army would be really strong. And then we've got Shrieking Bats. It's a ranged unit. It's an undead ranged unit with average health. Target unit's the same damage and loses morale, plus it would get Decaying, Exploit Vulnerability, and Echo. Ooh, very strong. Very cool unit. Now, do Doom Bats evolve? No, they don't. They're just tier 1 fighters. But they're very strong tier 1 fighters because, well, they have very low defense, which makes them very vulnerable to fire and spirit in particular. But the fact that they restore their health is quite good, which I don't think is true of the Shrieking Bat. I don't think it has lifesteal. No, it doesn't, but it does have that necrotic projectiles. I'm kind of tempted to recruit some of these Vampire Spider Matriarchs because their barbed webs can inflict bleeding, they slow, they do damage, they have AoE, lifesteal, they can spawn like summons. These are very strong units, so I'm going to start recruiting some of these. I should have built that building a long time ago, but I think I was kind of trapped, because what often happens when I'm playing the game is, as I'm playing catch-up a lot of the time, I do want a quarry. And I wanted a quarry so that I could build things like shrines faster, which means I want another quarry so I can build the next tier of shrine faster. Let's go for the stonemason so that we can build up this city faster, because we need to improve our economy. We're at a phase of the game where improving our economy is going to have really strong returns. I don't know if I care about the Merchant of Mounts, so I'm going to tell him to just go away, because I think that means the next merchant will come sooner, which would be ideal. All right, let's go to the next turn. Oh, nice. We found a Frost Great Axe. Take that. I still have a couple of Skepts running around. Well, I think it's just one right now who's running around finding stuff for me. I've got a ton of Imperium. Choke Point is under siege. Okay, we kind of expected that. What can we get for this bunch of Imperium that we have? We did want better pillaging, but we're not doing pillaging right now. We don't plan on raising cities right now, nor using Forced March. Getting +1 rank on all my heroes would be crazy work right now. So let's grab that. Ruler leveled up. He's level 14. He's 2 away from Signature Skill 16. Let's see. Do I need Curse? It would sunder their defense and resistance. It is a free action. Raise Undead is really useful. Unholy Leader would be really good. Plus 10% damage. 50. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Unholy Leader on Stybor Erebus. That's going to make all of these... I think some of them aren't undead, but the ones who are going to benefit. Perfect. Like my dragon. Moving our heroes up to defend Choke Point. We're in position. None of these armies are especially like crazy strong. They are just big armies that we'll need to deal with. I definitely want advanced logistics so I can march further. I don't think we're ready for teleporters. We have access to Painbound now, which is going to give us morale and random positive status effects when people are hit from our faction. I think I'm going to shuffle these research because none of these three really do it for me. None of these three really do it for me either, but I think of the few, Painbringer kind of does fit into my build, so I'll grab a Painbringer. Now, we built some crypts here. I'm going to grab the Abattoir. I do need to be careful with my mana expenditure. Now, my hero leveled up Tyrannica the Beacon. I don't know if this unit really needs to be getting grace when friendly units die. It might be better for us to focus on like Blood Pact or leveling up their vampire ability. Like Siphon Blood is a ranged version. that always hits. Let's see, Blood Pact. Link with the target friendly unit while active. Oh wait, we also have this. We could go Adaptive Shadow. Adjacent enemy units lose morale faster. We could get Unholy Leader. That's really good. Adaptive Chaos would give us Debilitation Aura, Chaos Empowerment. I think I'll go with Adaptive Shadow on this guy. I'm not going to go for the Aura, but instead Unholy Leader is really good. We could pick a Blood Pact, which would allow us to link with a target friendly unit. Any damage dealt to the caster is dealt to the target. Blood Pact gives lifesteal and target gains lifesteal and resurgence. Siphon Blessing steals all positive status effects. Curse. If your hero is not engaged in melee, it's blah, blah, blah. Infectious Affliction. I think I'm tempted by Siphon Blood, so I'm going to take that because that gives this this character a way to regenerate health at range as a vampire. Now Vlad the Wolf is leveled up. We went with Draining Bite and the Staggering Bite so that he can break defense modes, which fits well for him as a melee caster fightery character. I wouldn't mind taking Drain Familiar for him to be able to keep himself topped up. He also has the ability, I could make him an Adept of Chaos. I would be more likely to make him an Adept of Shadow because I want that Unholy Leader ability to make non-hero undead units stronger. So I'm going to take Adept of Shadow and Unholy Leader because eventually all of my units are going to be undead. I don't necessarily need your attacks to do Electrified. It might be better. We don't need extra morale when you kill. I'm going to start going down the... Well, should I go down the vampire tree? There's like some domination stuff that we could do. Blood Drain abilities gain the ability to inflict stunned. That's a really good support ability. And then we could do it every 2 turns. And then I could also give him Mist Away and Vampirific Flight. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go for the stun. Making him a much better melee fighter. Spellblade Defendery character. Then Isuf Grin the Mender has also leveled up. I think we're going to grab Rituals of Strength for the extra strength abilities. We kind of want to make sure that you're up and strong. Yeah, I have a lot of spells I can cast, but nothing I really want to cast right now. So we're going to leave that as is. All right, where do we stand? Choke Point falls next turn. Uh-oh. Looks like they fell away from the city. I'll get an easy attack here, though, as a result of that. All right, so we got more blah, blah, blah. Oh, Portent of Rousing. Base unit upkeep is reduced by 50%. Oh, cities draft faster. You gain 20 gold for each unit in your empire at the end of it. So now is the time to grow. Eldritch Hunger. I could declare war on them. I will. I'm not really... I don't care about the Umbral Abyss. That's not my jam. Let me have a look here. Grimrise built a Vampire Castle Abattoir and a Matriarch Spider. I'm going to keep making those Matriarch Spiders because they're relatively cheap. The city can annex another province. And it does really like farms. We'll grab ourselves a little farm in there. We could upgrade our Vampire Castle. This would get us Imperium, Vision, as well as access to some new abilities. It would be nice to build like the Spelljammer, the Soul, like all of these things. Let's see, the Dark Forge likes Foresters. So I think I'm going to put it in the middle of these guys. It's worth another 17 production, 10 gold to Imperium. Beautiful. The Carnival of Flesh can go here. Well, let me see. Central Quarry. I don't really need a Central Quarry. I mean, it is nice because it increases production, but it's a lot of time and energy for something. The Soul Well would be nice. We don't need the Carnival of Flesh. It doesn't do that much for us. I would like the Soul Well to get a lot of souls. And I can get a little bit of mana out of it here at the cost of some food. Probably should build the Spelljammer. It's expensive in mana though, and I don't want to spend the mana. All right, we'll just leave you to your business. Let's hit Reaper's Hollow. I could lose a pop in Choke Point to clear it without a fight. I kind of want the fight, but this is like just free victory. We can get the Chaos Eater of Infested Blood, which is a tier 3 primary weapon. Ooh. It consumes chaos and inflicts blood parasite. We could recruit this person later. We could get a bunch of knowledge. It'd be a pretty cool tier 3 item to get early into the game. I think I'm just going to take the injection of knowledge. A turn of research is not like amazing, but it is worth it. Let's grab ourselves a fight here. I'm hoping for an easy auto resolve. It says a low risk battle. We do have a lot of immortals, so let's see what happens. Yeah, so we lost pretty much everything that doesn't have resurgence. I'm thinking I could fight this battle better myself, so I will. Because I can just run the Immortals down mid to use, you know, Dota 2 player speak. Okay, so they're all grouped up, and they are buffing each other. They have a Bannerman, which is worth considering. They also have a Watcher. Pretty good crowd control ability. The Shrieking Bat is going to hurt. The Hero is a problem. He's pretty tanky. Okay, yeah, I think we can deal with this. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to rush forward with our expendables. Make me a spider. Again, we just want to make sure that all the expendable units... Because again, these guys can... They come back at the end of the battle if they die, basically. So rush forward with your expendables. Then don't rush forward with your non-expendables. It's like pretty simple math here. What I would give to be in range for this evocation right now, but I wasn't. I have 2 warlocks on the right flank, which will allow us to scythe down units one at a time. And look at that big damage they're doing already. Yeah, they're buffing up. That's scary. Already some immortals are falling, but they are immortal. They come back as long as we win, so that's important. Oof. What spells do we have here? Let's have a look. Necrotize isn't terrible. Do I think I can get this kill? So what are you? You're a tier 2 spell shield. You have pretty good defense. We could break your defense mode. Let's do that. Break your defense mode. Let's put a blood curse on you. Now, I think I'm going to jump with this spider to here and then hit these guys with a web, hopefully slowing / immobilizing them. Now, can you teleport here? Is this a flank? It is a flank. That's 33 damage on him. Beautiful. What's the charge strike like? Not perfect. Ooh, I could claim his soul. Just need to do a bit more damage to him. Come on, let me claim that soul. Boom, boom. So, on target killed. Boom. Claim his soul. And we got a Whiteborn version of him. That's a huge battle swing. So we've lost an immortal, but we killed a spell shield. And we ended up with more summons. I'd call that a victory any day of the week. Let's get up and get some charge strikes on. Remember, we want to do as much damage as we can. Can we get another charge strike? Okay, let me zap. Zap, zap, zap. And then another charge strike will get me a kill, hopefully. He might slip away. I don't remember if the evolved form has that. Let's do Rite of Life Leeching. So you can get a bit of health restored from fighting. Beautiful. Not quite a full health restore, but a little bit. We'll do a Sundering Curse on him. I probably should have done that first. We'll do a Sundering Curse here. Nice. We have a zombie. Bam. Charge Striker. Let's play it safe with our Tyrant Guards. We have way more expendable units we can rush in the middle here. A Blood Parasite getting hit. That's beautiful. Big zaps. Ow. Lost another immortal. Again, not a big deal losing immortals. It is when they turn back into blood parasites, because that's a power swing. He does seem to be doing a fighting retreat. Another immortal has fallen. Looks like he's trying to get another one. Yeah, he got one. All right, what are we looking at here? So 5 immortals have fallen, 2 enemy units. We've got the summon advantage. Yeah, I think getting these guys onto the Watcher is going to be big. Poka, he's a battle mage, so he's going to have to take 2 attacks to move and act. Let me get up into this guy's zone of control, and then I'm going to do a fire evocation on this group. So now they're burning. Charge strike on him. Well, I think we could do a lot of damage to this tier 3 battle mage. And I think we could get another charge strike on him. I'm going to summon a spider matriarch here. This blood parasite's really annoying. Why does he have so much health? Like, this blood parasite has 120 health. My one has 60. He's really stun locking me into this corner. Let me melee strike you. There's a kill. Beautiful. We have polymorph. We have death wards. Rejuvenate. Before you run forward, let's run forward with the zombie to poke this guy. And then you've got a good chance of getting the kill. Boom. Popped. Move. Guess we have to kill him. He's kind of in the way. We can't get around him. So now I think it would be a good time for a blood explosion on... Not you. Sorry, that's life leeching. I want this one. We're going to do the ritual, the rite of bloodletting on you. Boom. Big bleed AoE. If you move forward 2 tiles, you can weakening bolt this guy. And if you move forward 2 tiles, you could also weakening bolt him, just less accurately. It doesn't matter because we just get him anyway. So where do we stand? I don't think we got much value this turn, but we do have them set up for a pretty good next turn. Yeah, they're doing AoE attacks and killing my immortals. Blood Parasite. It's another 120 health Blood Parasite, which is terrifying. All right, we lost one of them. I would like to revive that if I could. I don't really have revives because they're not technically undead yet. Okay, we lost an enemy unit. So this guy does adjacent allies would get hit by stun, or adjacent enemies get hit by stun. So I could pop him in here. Do a big 3-man stun potential. Still on cooldown. Let's get this kill with you. Then I can run you into the middle of the enemy formation and do a rite of bloodletting, getting big damage off. Poke him. Get around the back. Draining bite. No stun, but that's okay. Get around the back with the charge strikes. Come on now. Okay. Another 120 health blood maggot somehow. Let's make sure you can't be killed because I don't want you to die. We'll spawn a blood maggot from you if we can. Do a little freezing. 5% chance to hit. Not ideal. Let's see. Raise undead. Immortal. Spell shield. Immortal. I'll take a zombie. You're immobilized. Come on. Weakening curse. Please? Nope. Not quite. Come on. 5% chance to get a blood maggot. Give me it. All 3 misses. It was a pretty high chance that we missed all those. I'm a gambling man, though. I think the enemy's in a really bad shape right now. They've lost so much health. Okay, I lost a pursuer. That's okay. It's not a particularly good unit anyway. Good DPS, but that's fine. I definitely see a lot of value in the ability to raise undead when you've got units like Immortals who die a lot. Beautiful. The enemy are basically in a full rout. We should be able to get kills now. Let's get right behind them. I don't want to let this hero get away. Come on, get these kills. There we go. Take a shot. Boom, boom. Come on. Yes. Perfect. So the only unit left that matters from my enemy's point of view is the hero. Everything else is just filler. It's crazy that he summons 120 health blood parasites. I'm just going to auto fight this now. I don't think there'll be any issues. From here on out, killed another immortal. That's his job. Wait a minute. No, auto combat, cancel. You're going to waste your time killing the maggots. Jesus, the maggot retaliation is crazy. All right, kill him. He's the only thing that matters. Beautiful. So I would call that a much better outcome. We only lost a tyrant guard and a pursuer. Most of my immortals will respawn. 36 souls, 93 gold, 150 research, as well as 20 mana and a bit of experience for my ruler. I am not going to recruit these because, while they are fantastic, I'm going to go ahead and disenchant this equipment as well. While they are fantastic, it's not what I want or need, really. Okay, lovely. We could also chase these guys down and get a quick auto combat. Hopefully no losses. Perfect. I don't need to recruit anything. Lovely. That has been a big series of victories over Erlazilier. Now, I am waiting for... Is it Destined Conquerors? I'm waiting for Destined Conquerors. We're 25 turns away. I need to get more Chaos Affinity because I want the grievances against other empires so I can trigger the Desolations of War. All right, we captured Lamentus, the Eagle-Eyed. Trade proposal. Ursel Blackrose wants to do a teleporter pact. I'm going to do that. Me and him have been working together for a while now. Choke Point needs some production. It's no longer under siege. It really does need to grow a little bit faster. So I think I'm going to work on the granary. Now, Blade Hollow, it's time for you to grow. Another woodcutter wouldn't be terrible. We're making a lot of money per turn now, which is going to open up a lot of options for us. And our mana per turn is getting to a level now where we're finally getting some breathing room. This is the thing about the game, man. Like, it feels like you're in a straitjacket until like turn 60. And maybe it's down to my playstyle, maybe it's the fact that I play in the highest difficulty, but I really feel like you gotta, like, at least the playstyle that I play, you gotta turtle for a while before you can really get that, like, that breathing room. So Choke Point will take a while to grow. I would like to take these guys out if I could. I might bring a second army up here to support this. Hopefully this is an easy auto-resolve. I don't really want to fight another battle. Yeah, okay, perfect. So 20 skulls, 60 gold, 150 knowledge, and 20 mana. That's beautiful. Dismiss these units, as awesome as they are. We got a charged robe. Very cool, but we're going to disenchant it. It looks like we did finish the Summoner of the Rose Knight. I'm going to go to the item forge. I'm going to go to my blueprints. And I'm going to go ahead and forge another one of these. I'm going to give this first one to my ruler to make his stack even more powerful, because Rose Knight's crazy cool unit that we're able to summon now. Choke Point Keep making those immortals. We need lots of support stacks running around. Where is the next steps for us? Well, I would love to clear the Silent Tomb over here, but I think I need to gather my armies against Ereliaziar. So let's bring the army. Well, we do have this quest that we needed to do too. Keep making those vampire matriarchs because they are strong. The power of the immortal is the fact that I can revive. I'm going to now get obsidian weapons. It's going to be very expensive to maintain, but it is going to massively improve my army. 23 mana per turn, plus 1 physical damage. Let's go. It's going to be plus 2 for a lot of my shock units and the ability to inflict bleed. I'll have a look at Sanguine Focus next turn, but we're finally getting some of these spells that we researched so long ago. Okay, so we could spend money to gain a transmuter. Let's just fight him head on. I think this should be an easy auto combat. Yeah, boom, easy. Some experience for my leader, a bunch of resources again. Don't need to revive any skeletons. The Lance of Shattering, that's a pretty good tier 3 item. Let's see, we could get more recruits. I don't think we need recruits. I think I would like the Imperium. Imperium is a difficult resource to get your hands on, so I'm always going to take it when I can. Tempted to spend the Imperium to grab this Forester. So this guy's inside my territory getting health rehealing, so we can get his health back up sooner to go take on our enemies. Definitely we need to build the desecration chambers in here, and I'm even going to rush it out so we can start converting this territory to sunless. I forget how important sunless is sometimes. Oh, nice. Painbringers. This is a tier 4 mythic unit. I would like to get some of those. Tormenting Projectiles is crazy. Revels of Carnage is pretty good for experience. Turns mana into experience. I'm going to go for the Tormenting Projectiles first. Selene Sunborn has been captured. Beautiful. We're getting a bunch of research from our crypts. We're vassalizing a contested free city. I think this is Ankaraz. Yeah, they'll be my vassal in 1 turn, which is excellent. Yeah, I think we're looking really good actually here. Like, this is the point now where we're cozy and stable, man. All right, so pulling our armies back for a little bit of heal. I would love to go do an incursion into an Umbral Abyss if I could find a good one to hit up. I think I might send you down to this one. In the meantime, I'm setting up for an attack on the Vainglorious up here to the northwest. Also, this large monster den needs to be cleaned out. It's a gold infestation spawner, so that'll be worth clearing. Coming into Blade Hollow, our mana is starting to dip a bit, so I do want to keep getting the shrines and stuff like that to keep the mana growing. Reveler's Heart would be great. I think I'm going to go for Sanguine Focus first. It's going to cost me 5 mana upkeep, which isn't too bad. Plus 1 physical damage. Increased chance of bleeding on our ranged magical attacks, which is beautiful. We're chilling here for 1 turn with all these armies while we wait for them to regen. We just pop over to the next turn. Things are looking great, man. It's just like, again, I just feel that loosening as our empire can finally take a breath, as we're no longer being choked from every front. All right, we're moving up now towards clearing out this large monster den. At this point, it will be worth it for me to pick up skilled raiders to pillage better. It'll allow me to heal my units while I'm on the offensive. And we should be recruiting a ridiculous number of units here, because our goal should be to go crazy and just throw them at enemies to get map value, basically, while they're like giga cheap. We've got 2 more turns where we can get away with this, and then we're gonna have to start paying the piper. Ooh, we discover the Eternal Battlegrounds. Draft and Souls, Undying Battlefield enchantment. Ooh, very nice. All right, hoping for an easy auto resolve here on this battle. I mean, a Tyrant Guard, who cares about that? I'll pick that up, thank you very much. Ooh, an accurate crown, a bunch of resources, a river troll, some more items. Oh, hell yes. Okay, I think this city is underground. Let's go for another auto combat on this guy. Hopefully simple enough. Perfect. It was a pretty big stack, but that's not important. What's important is that we cleaned it up easily. All right, we're entering the Abyss. We got some big fights ahead of us. Now, coming into the capital, they finished their construction. We got another summoner of the Rose Knight. We definitely want to keep making those because those are good, man. They're expensive, but they're good. I'm going to give one to one of these heroes. I'll give it to you. Boom. You have an Amulet of Vitality, which gives you max hit points. That's fine. But yeah, the Rose Knight is going to make a big difference. I got a hero join off. I'll probably sort that out next turn. I don't know if I want to mess around with hero. You know what? Let's have a look at what we got in terms of hero join. All right, let's have a look. So I prefer to recruit from my own faction because I can get use out of my own stuff. Ooh, I like the idea of the Ranger Scholarly Governor. I don't care about the Defender part, but I think I will take the Ranger. 400 gold. Join the Vampiric Court, please. Now, I don't know what kind of Ranger I want to make just yet, so I'm going to hold off on leveling them up and doing all that stuff. Somewhere could annex another province. The Duskfort can annex another province. Let's grab a quarry. Be nice to produce faster. Let's get you Palisade Walls and Choke Point. I forget what you produced. We would like the Overlord's Tower. The Shadow Trade Quarter would be really nice too. I need the Monolith. I'm so hungry for mana. Like, the second I get mana income, I spend it on making my army more powerful. It would be nice to get the Vampire Castle Chambers, which is the tier 2. More Imperium income, all that stuff, perfect. Plus 20 permanent gold from raising cities is nice. I think I might save up for that. I bet to unlock it. Cheaper city structures would help us with gold, I think. So that's just going to mean our gold goes further. So I'll take that. I wouldn't mind Arcane Artisans either. Mines granting mana, like that would be helpful. So we're now in the aftermath of this thing. So I gain 1,000 gold, but now we've got a mana crisis. Now we have 3 turns before the crisis comes to a head, so we do have time to solve it. I think it would be good if we auto-combated this. Easy clap. Dismiss. Do not raise these units. I would love to clear this. This is what I was looking for, a Soothing Shrine. If I can touch this, I can get 50% of my army's hit points back. Start clearing out more of this. Jesus Christ, the Blood Exarchs are crazy, dude. Every time I see them, I like get scared all over again. I need to get 3 armies in the underground to begin the siege. At least 3 armies. Yeah, why don't you pillage here for health on this army, and then I'll send this hero down into the underground to be able to begin the siege. In terms of siege projects, I think there's only palisades here, so I think we don't really need to do anything except for like raiding party plus harass defenders. Not necessary, I don't think, to do anything more than that. We will almost certainly be raising this city. I don't know if we like vassalizing. Step inside my allies' territory here to get a little heal. Now, in Blade Hollow, we would love to grow faster, so a storehouse would be incredible. But we also want to build the Basilica of Lamentation and the Blood Altar to keep getting our mana up. So I'm going to start with the Blood Altar. Now, the nice thing about the Blood Altar is it doesn't necessarily give us mana per turn, but it does give us mana when we win battles. So I might actually build the Basilica of Lamentation first, because it actually provides a base mana income. Let's get mana from mines. That's really going to help with our mana income. Now we're only losing 40 rather than 75 per turn. And I think we're in a good enough space right here to call an end to this episode. Like, we have made serious progress between me and my ally, which I'm very lucky that I got here. Would have been a much harder game if I didn't get that ally. I think we're going to be able to do a hell of a lot in the next episode. So I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!